We're doing the New England Patriots draft recap today with NFL Draft Insider Tony Pauline. Tony, were you surprised at all that once Mac Jones didn't go at that number 3 overall pick that he fell all the way to New England?
I guess maybe I was a little bit surprised that Washington didn't make a move up to get him, but you knew after he got past Denver, there was a chance for him to move down. I had said all along, I thought that Mac Jones potentially to the 3rd pick with the San Francisco 49ers was a massive reach. When I did my mock draft, I basically had to hold my nose and put him there because I didn't think he was worth the 3rd pick of the draft. I had him, I believe, number 23 on my board. So, to the king goes the spoils, I guess you say. The Patriots hope that they got their quarterback of the future after losing Tom Brady, and Mac Jones just finds a way to fall into the lap of the New England Patriots, and they don't have to move up a single spot to get him.
Yeah, that was sneaky by Bill Belichick to be able to pull that one off. And then they got Christian Barmore at the beginning of the 2nd round. I think that was probably a little bit of a surprise to a lot of people, but it seems like after hearing some of the entourage stuff, that it may not be as surprising.
Yeah, it wasn't surprising to me. I mean, he's a good interior pass rusher. You look at the Patriot system. I mean, it's a 3-4, but it's a 3-4 where they line their outside linebacker basically up at the line of scrimmage. So it's basically 3 down linemen and one that stands up over tackle, and that one would be Matt Judon, who they gave a huge free agency contract to. Barmore's a guy who I think he went where he deserved to go. He's someone who has a large amount of athleticism. He's got a good amount of upside. He's going to be, I believe, a pass rush specialist early in his NFL career. You got some guys in the middle there who are replaceable, or at least you can move them in and out. I thought it was another good pick by the Patriots.
Yeah, and then, at the end of the 3rd round here, they went with Ronnie Perkins, the Oklahoma defensive end, somebody who is probably going to be another one of those stand-up outside linebacker type guys.
Yeah, I think this was one of the steals of the draft. I mean, I thought Perkins all along was worthy of a top 32 choice. I know he had some character concerns, but when you watch him on the field, when he's on his game, he's unstoppable. He's the guy who's consistently behind the line of scrimmage, forcing the action, sacking the quarterback, or making the quarterback leave the pocket. He shows the ability to pursue the ball handlers from the backside and catch him. Gives effort in all areas. Like I said, he's got some character issues, but this could be really one of the steals of the 2021 draft. The Patriots getting Perkins in round 3.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't already seen it in the Oklahoma State tape, I mean, he absolutely bullied that football team in that game. Then they go straight back to the Oklahoma pipeline with Rhamondre Stevenson, the massive running back from Oklahoma.
Yeah, big interior ball carrier. They got Damian Harris in there. This was a bit of a surprise pick to me. I thought Stevenson was probably more later on in day 3, although I was on the outside looking in because there were a lot of people who thought Stevenson was worth the 3rd round pick. He's a solid ball player. Even the people at Oklahoma that I spoke to, they think that he's a guy who needed another year to really develop his body. Maybe an uphill battle for Stevenson.
And then after him, somebody who I thought was going to go a lot earlier as well, Cameron McGrone, the inside linebacker.
Perfect fit for the Patriot system. A rough and tumble inside linebacker who was a tremendous run defender, up the field filling gaps, in pursuit sideline to sideline. 3rd and 7 on passing downs, you're probably going to take them off the field. But, you look at some of the older guys on the interior of that linebacker core for the Patriots. You look at the way they like to do things. I think McGrone was a perfect fit for that system.
Yeah, and then speaking of, a perfect fit for the system, Joshua Bledsoe, the safety from Missouri, somebody who played a lot in the slot for Missouri, but does kind of project as a back-end safety a little bit more.
Yeah, and the way Belichick uses his safeties, again, someone who can cover a quarter of the field facing the action. He's got the size, he's got the temperament for Belichick.
Yeah, and then after that, they went with William Sherman, the offensive tackle from Colorado.
I love their last 2 picks, both William Sherman and the 7th round pick, Trey Nixon. Sherman, to me, I like him better as a zone blocking guard, maybe a center. But you look at the history of Bill Belichick with the Patriots, he usually likes the smaller, more athletic tackle types. That's exactly what Sherman is. Would not be surprised to see the 6th rounder make the active roster as a backup, who they eventually develop, as a starter in the future. I thought Trey Nixon in the 7th round was another steal. Patriots have had a lot of difficulty developing receivers. They take receivers high. A lot of these guys don't pan out as hope. They get a lot of receivers off the waiver wire. Nixon is someone who's got tremendous upside. Before he got injured last year, I thought he was going to go in the 4th round. He's got terrific downfield speed. He's a consistent pass catcher. He runs good routes. You know, Nixon's got to stay healthy, and the Patriots got to find the formula to develop their receivers that they select in the draft. If that happens, they got an excellent bargain in Nixon around 7.
And then, you know, as always, I'd ask you about the UDFA signings. They only had one. What can you tell me about Quinn Nordin?
I mean, it's an interesting selection. They got Nick Folk on the roster, who's going to soon be collecting Social Security checks, although he's had a lot of success in the league. They got Aguayo, who's been all over the place. You know, Michigan usually produces good kickers. I had Nordin as a potential 8th-round pick. He's got a big leg. He's got a strong leg. He's just got to be a little bit more consistent. I think he'll compete for a roster spot. I don't know if he'll eventually make the active roster.
And that's all we got for you guys today. The New England Patriots draft reaction with our draft insider, Tony Pauline.